What's up, guys? Welcome to another PvM coaching video where what we're going to be doing is taking a look at a viewer's clip for killing Raksha today, of all bosses, and we're going to take a look and see what they are doing and see if there's any sort of feedback or anything we can do to help them improve at this boss. Now, this player is actually pretty good at Raksha already. They are getting like 4.5 minute kill times, and it's absolutely fine. Like 4.5 minutes, it's not a problem. But they did want to see if they could speed up their kills a little bit and improve in PvM just overall. So what we're going to do is watch through their kill, see if there's anything we can pick up on, give any advice that we can, and just see if there's anything that we can help with, basically. So this should provide a bit of like value to other people as well, which is why I made this into a video rather than just watching it and then just telling that person like, oh, do this, do this, do this. This way, a lot of other people can learn from it as well. That being said, I always like to make clear that I don't think I am the best PvMer in RuneScape, of course, but if there's anybody that thinks I could add value, then of course just send me a message on Discord. We can do the same sort of thing for you guys as well, and if I can help, then I will. But I can only teach as far as I know, of course, because I can't teach anything better, and I still have a lot of improvement to do as well. That being said, we can definitely add some value here, so let's do that. And if you enjoy, do leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and a quick final heads up, the actual graphics settings for the clip is going to be a minimum, so you guys will just have to let your eyes adjust that a little bit, but it's okay, we can see what's happening, and it's absolutely fine. There's a lot of value to be given in this clip, so we want to use it. Alright, so here is the clip of the Raksha kill. Like I say, it's in minimum graphics, but it's okay. We can see what's going on. The user interface is pretty okay. I don't really see any problems with it. It looks like you've brought your screen in, which most people recommend doing anyway. Mine's just not. I should do, but it's not. You've got your buff stuff over here in that, and you got your inventory, one equipment, and what else? We've got Ripper Demon. Your Ripper Demon has scrolls, so that's good. Good to see. Hopefully it's set to auto fire. We will see. I assume it is because you're on 342 scrolls, which means they are being used. And we can't really see your action bar just yet because of the YouTube bar, but this will go away once we start going, right? So it's fine. What else have we got here that I need to keep an eye out for? I think that's Disruption Shield, right? So we can keep an eye out for that. I think that's pretty much it. It looks like you're probably using Insight Fear because you've got a Staff of Armadillo and you do have dual wield, but you won't be 4-ticking because you're on Revolution. So I assume you're probably going to switch between these to use Greater Concentrator Blast, but we'll see what happens. So let's just press play. You're on Maniacal, you do have a Grimoire, so everything looks like it's set up properly. I can't see your perks, but that's okay. What I'm going to do, guys, for people watching, is I'm not really going to pause. I mean, it's only 5 minutes long, right? But we're going to get through this as quick as, well, we can watch through it as much as I can. I'll pause if I need to explain something properly, but otherwise we'll do it as we go. So I can see you starting off with Magma Tempest on your Revolution bar, which is fine, but you've got your Great Concentrator Blast up higher up, so you don't have that on Revo. You're going to be using that manually, which is fine as well, as long as you do actually use it. So use Sunshine, Vuln Bomb, and Smoke Cloud. You can see that it's there. It's up here at the top over here, so that's good. Your Prayer Flicking with Soul Split, so that's good. Like I say, this person's already good at Raksha. Like they can get rid of the kill pretty quick. Like, it's okay, 4.5 minutes and not really any issues at all. So cannot complain. It's going to be good. So one thing I've noticed, did you just use tendrils? Wait, you've not stat spec'd. Wait. We're not going to pause, but now I'm going to go back instead. So you're going to use this, build up your adrenaline, and then you're going to use Tsunami, and then back to Great Concentrator Blast probably, I guess. Yeah, no. So this is a little bit confusing, but what you want to do here is, I don't know if, I'm going to have to check later on as well, see if this was just a mistake because of your recording, maybe, because this happens a lot, right? If you're recording something, it's absolutely easier for you to make that mistake, right? Because you have the pressure and whatnot. But after you use Tsunami here, you want to stat spec almost straight away. So you want to Tsunami, use Great Concentrator Blast for that adrenaline gain, and then as soon as you can, you want to stat spec and then use Tendrils. But basically, you want to use your stat spec with your Tsunami. In fact, I'm going to check quickly because we're on 57 seconds. I want to just quickly check when you're next. So you've used stat spec there. Let's have a look. When did you use stat spec? Tsunami had 8 seconds left and you used stat spec, or 9 seconds. And then let's have a look later on if you use Tsunami and stat spec again sometime. So I'm going to see if this is something that is happening normally or what. So I think you just used Tsunami before. So there's Tsunami. So you want a stat spec here, but you only have 283k left. So I guess it's not too bad. But if you're not going to commit to stat spec here, what I would have done is probably just save Tsunami. You want to pair them up together. Tsunami and stat spec, pair them together. They're used at the exact same time. I think they have the same cooldown or very similar cooldowns. You want to tie them together. You definitely want to tie them together. So let's just skip forward a little bit more to when you go through here. Okay, so you're going to go forward and then you're going to stat spec here. Right, so there's definitely some stuff we can add to this. The staff of Armadillo use is going to give you so much. It's going to save you so much time. The only reason you'd want to use magic here instead of ranged is the staff of Armadillo is so freaking strong, and that's pretty much it. But you need to tie it up properly. You need to use it properly, and you'll get the value out of it. So this is good because we can add something to this, and I'm glad I checked because I can now say at the beginning you want to be using Tsunami, then staff spec, and then you want to use tendrils, then wild magic, and all that sort of good stuff. It looks like you do have an Armadillo battle staff in your Essence of Finality, by the way. I did catch that on the further in when we were checking. So that's good. I don't know what the second one is. I'm assuming it's probably going to be a Gothic staff, maybe. I can't think of anything else that it would be, because you don't have a bow, so you don't use the HGB. So the staff spec is going to be huge for you, and I'll explain how that works at some point in the video as well. So you want to staff spec with Tsunami always. You pretty much just use Tsunami, then stat spec, and that's where your damage is going to come from. That'll be huge for you. Going through here, you've just used debilitate. What you can do here, like debilitate's fine, because you're going to debilitate, you're going to stand and dual damage still. Like it's fine, it makes sense. Yeah, it does the same, I guess, as a vit part, but you could just use a vit part, and that way it won't interrupt your actual abilities, and it also won't cost you adrenaline to use as well. So obviously debilitate costs you adrenaline, only 15%, but it costs you adrenaline. It doesn't really hit that hard, and a vit pot will do the exact same thing, and you won't have to use any adrenaline or anything. So you can just keep DPSing. But I mean, it's still fine. It's still fine. So you've got your bleeds off. You're about to phase again. We'll see how you handle the pools. See how you handle the pools. 60. You dumped your Omni power. This is good. It's good to see you're chucking those cooldowns. So the reason that you would want to do that is if it's sat on cooldown, like while you're bladed diving, you're not doing anything, right? You might as well dump it, and then now that he's done with the bladed dive, it's already started going back through his cooldown again. So it makes sense to dump that off. That's fine. You got rid of the little summon thing. You dealt with the pools pretty fine. I think you were misclicked on one of them, which meant that you got the 10% extra stuff, or something like that. It doesn't matter. 10% is not the end of the world. It will slow your cooldown a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much. You are right. So you are switch. Right, boss. Okay, you are switching between your dual wield. I'm going to go back a little bit. Watch over here, the one equipment, guys. Right, we're on the scythe after the bladed dive. Watch over here. So we go from bladed dive into the dual wield, right? And we kill this thing. All right, back to staff. Using ability. And then back to, there's a res. Then back to dual wield. And then I believe back to staff. You're switching between dual wield and staff pretty easily. Like, you seem comfortable enough with that. Let's keep an eye on that, because there's the Tsunami that probably would have been better to save. Back to dual wield, and I think you're going to change back to staff. Yeah, okay. So I know that you don't like using Revolution because you're probably not there with manual yet, but because you're switching between your staff and your dual wield already, it's almost like you're four-ticking, but you can't four-tick because you're in Revolution, right? You're missing out on some damage because of that. If you can get used to the full manual a little bit, just those, what was it, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 abilities that you're not pressing. If you can add those in, because you're using manual for greater concentrated blast and stuff anyway, and all your thresholds and whatnot. If you can add those in, you'll get a lot of damage out of that, man. Four-ticking is so good, and you'd only have to do one extra keybind from what you're doing when you switch between dual wield and in your staff. So definitely worth keeping an eye on. Phase time is pretty good. You've remembered your vuln bomb the entire time, so that's always good to see. What I would do here, instead of staff specking, because we know you're going to staff spec in a second, right? What I would suggest you do is just get 100% adrenaline and sunshine. If you sunshine straight away, when the Anima comes out, you can then use the Anima. Your sunshine will probably end, but you don't want to stack sunshine and Anima anyway, because if you stack the Anima while you're in your sunshine, you get diminishing returns because you're already hitting towards the damage cap, and then when you are hitting the damage cap every time, there's not much point. So if you sunshine now, then you're technically losing DPS. Because you're limiting yourself. That was the worst Anima spawn of your life. Holy crap. Oh wait, it's not fully dead yet, but even so. Even so, man, that's... What is that Anima spawn? Holy hell, that is unfortunate as hell. Okay, you're gonna get a bomb in a second, I assume. Yeah, you freed him, which is fine. Oh, that was clever. Very nice. Okay, cool. So you want to use that Anima? This is unfortunate. This is unfortunate. You want to use that Anima up though. Come on, get back on them together. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. You've recovered. You've recovered. Everything's good. Don't forget the Anima though. Come on. Do you know about the Anima? Yeah, you got to know about the Anima to get. Yeah, okay. So you were waiting. You were waiting for your rotation, weren't you? You were saving it for the rotation, I think. Yeah. Okay, so using Anima in Sunshine is kind of a waste, because what Anima does is it puts you towards the damage cap. Every time you hit the damage cap now, see the 16.8 Ks? Every time you're hitting that, you would probably have hit that without the Sunshine anyway. So you're kind of capping out a little bit, and it's not stacking that like all the time. So it kind of doesn't, you don't need to stack them. What I would do is, as you come through through the phasing, because you got the kill, that's good. But as you come through here, there, as you come through, go to the step, build up to 100% adrenaline and Sunshine. Then that way you can get your DPS in before he does the Anima. Once the Anima's done, you've still got Staff Spec and Tsunami. You want a Tsunami, pick up the Anima and use Staff Spec, trigger the Anima, and use the Anima while you are under Staff Spec, because it means all your autos are going to get buffed to hell, right? And you're firing out so many because of the Staff Spec, and it's just really, really good. So you definitely want to be doing it in that order. That's going to get you a lot faster kill times as well. And Sunshine straight away. Sunshine straight away. There's no need to stack it with the Anima at all. But otherwise, your mechanics are good. Like, you understand the mechanics of the boss. I think it's just DPS stuff, right? There's not really any mechanics that I can really mention. I think I saw earlier, actually, somewhere. I'm sure I saw earlier somewhere that you used. It's after this Staff Spec runs out. I think here you use Armored Battle Staff without the Staff Spec on. I don't know if this is an accident or not, but yeah, there. So you're using the Armored Battle Staff. This, do you change the Essence of Finality at all? No. Okay, so I don't know what the Essence of Finality is. I'm hoping it's a Gothic Staff. If it is, you only want to use Armored Battle Staff Essence of Finality when you have Tsunami and you have Staff Spec active. Otherwise, it's kind of not worth it, because it costs 50% adrenaline. It really doesn't do that much damage. It only does high damage because you have Staff Spec and the autos. Because you're doing so many crits, that's where all the damage comes from. Okay, so we watched the kill, and I'm going to go back through now and just talk about the specific things that I think could be improved on. And then hopefully you do get some help out of that, some value and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Your mechanics and stuff, though, there's not really anything I can talk about with that. It's all going to be just a few tips for increasing your DPS. Let's have a look. The first thing that you need to work on is going to be your Staff of Armadillo rotation. It is. You need to work on just using the Staff of Armadillo with Tsunami and understanding how to get the most out of it, because that spec will save you so much time. If you do this properly with this, you will save like a minute killing Rapture, I think, straight away without adding much else to it. I think you'll go from 4.5 minutes to 3.5 minutes, maybe even sub 3 minutes with a bit of practice. The next thing is, I think you use the Essence of Finality with your Armored Battle Staff for the entire time. I'm pretty sure it doesn't change. Quick skim through will probably confirm that it doesn't change at all. Now, this may be because you were recording, and I completely understand that when you're recording a clip like this, you feel pressure and stuff, like, right? I do it every day. It's kind of I've got used to it now, but it's distracting. You're thinking about it all the time, and when you start out, you panic and you do things differently. Like, it's way easier to mess up a kill when you're recording something than when you're not. So that's absolutely fine. But this Essence of Finality, I'm assuming this one's a Gothic Staff, because I can't think of anything else you would possibly have in this setup other than a Gothic Staff. You may have something else, but if you don't, then it's a Gothic Staff. And if it's not a Gothic Staff, then you should get one. The reason being is the Armored Battle Staff Essence of Finality is absolutely trash when it is not used inside the Staff Spec. So here, when you're using it, that was convenient time to click. When you're using it here, waste, absolute waste. 50% adrenaline from that, it's not worth it at all. And you only want to use it when you have Tsunami on and you're using the Staff Spec, pretty much. But that comes down to your Staff of Armadillo rotation again. You just won't use it outside of that. You won't use it outside of Staff Spec. When that's done, you want to change to a Gothic Staff and just use that as basically an extra threshold. The Gothic Staff is another thing as well. The next thing I should mention is, if you do have one, use it, because one, you will splash at Rapture a little bit as well anyway, so having that effect on him will be absolutely great. And also, two, it's like an extra threshold for magic. So you'll find that with magic sometimes that you kind of have too much adrenaline to dump it, unless you're using the staff, of course. But normally you're gonna have too much adrenaline, apart from when you're firing like Omni Power and whatnot, and you can use the Gothic Staff to dump that adrenaline. So it costs 25% adrenaline, but it can hit like 9Ks, 10Ks. When you're in the Sunshine, it can hit like 12Ks. Like, it can do hit cap sometimes, especially at Rapture on the last phase. So that's going to be pretty big as well, and you definitely want to be taking advantage of that. So if you do have one, then make sure you swap when you're not using the Armored Battle Staff, and don't use the Armored Battle Staff unless you are in the stat spec. Okay. Next is going to be your vuln bombs, your smoke cloud, spot on. There's nothing to talk about with that. Mechanics, like I say, are pretty great. There's nothing I can really say about your mechanics. You understand what you're doing and you do well, except for this phase here. So as you go into phase 4, it doesn't matter what your adrenaline is now. You want to vuln bomb, which you're already doing anyway. Reapply smoke cloud because you haven't used an ability, so you can reapply smoke cloud here as well. And then you want to build up to 100% adrenaline to sunshine on the stairs straight away. Sunshine way, pretty much where you stood now, or one tile back, like there where you are now. And then just use your thresholds, dump some whatever to do as much damage as you can to get through that shield. Once the shield's up and you've done that, clear the shield off. Then you want to pick up the Anima, use Tsunami and staff spec, and use your tendrils, your wild magic, your omni power, all that sort of stuff when you've used the Anima. You don't need to stack Anima and Sunshine because you will get diminishing returns. And for anyone who's wondering, diminishing returns is basically if you are getting 10k extra damage from the Anima and you get 10k extra damage from Sunshine, just the example, random numbers pulled from the sky, that means you hit 20k, right? Because you're getting two 10ks. But if you stack the Sunshine and the Anima together and you're hitting 20k, the hit cap is only 16k or 16.8k, whatever it is. So you can't actually hit that 20k. So because you stack them together, you get diminishing returns. Yes, you'll be hitting the hit cap more often, but you're losing out on damage that you could have got in other places. So use the Sunshine first. Make sure you get the use out of that, and then pick up your Anima and use that as well. You don't need to stack them together, and you want to be using that Anima thing as early as you can, so it runs out, because you get the full duration out of it. It means you get the full damage out of it as well. But at the beginning, basically Sunshine, DPS, break the shield, and then use stat spec, the rotation here as well. Now, quickly going to talk about the stat spec rotation before we end the video. I will make a video on this. The next video I make will probably be this, talking about my actual rotation with the stat spec. Mine's not perfect. I can do like decent damage with it. I think my times are okay. It actually is still pretty okay. I'm happy with it anyway. While there is always room for improvement, like there's always room for improvement anyway, I will make a video talking about my rotation with it specifically. So I will do that. But basically the way it goes is you want to use Tsunami, then you want to use your Great Concentrated Blast to build your adrenaline up. You want to use Staff Spec with Limitless, and then you can use Tendrils and Wild Magic, and then when you've used Tendrils, it'll build your adrenaline up high enough to use Omni Power. As long as you get some crits in that, you can then go straight into an Armadillo Battle Staff. And then you can use Asphyxiate, Armadillo Battle Staff, and you can just get through that like pretty quick. That's a lot of damage, but that's what you want to do with it. Other than that, you don't want to use Armadillo Battle Staff at all, and you want to always use Tsunami and Staff Spec together. But I'll talk about that in another video anyway. But I hope that helps. There's not really much else for me to say here. Your other stuff's good. You didn't let your overload run out. You kept Vuln Bomb on. You used Smoke Cloud. Your mechanics are understanding the boss are good. Your DPS is good. The only other thing that you could do really now is maybe try and do manual with your basics if you think you can do that. And 4-ticking. You're already swapping between dual wield and two-handed staff. So you only need to add one keybind to be able to 4-tick at that point, and a little bit of timing and practice. I think you could do it though. I really, really do. Your PvM is good, and there's little things to improve from here. It's all little things, and just getting things down a little bit tighter and stuff, like making rotations cleaner when you use stat spec and your ults and whatnot. And it's just timing on abilities and getting used to cooldowns, all that sort of stuff. Your mechanics and understanding of how PvM works are great. You're using res and your defensives, all that sort of stuff. You understand PvM. It's just going to be adding those little extras, and then you'll get quite a lot out of that. But anyway, I hope that's helped. If it did, then let me know. If you have any questions, dude, DM me on Discord. It's absolutely fine. Like, you know, my DMs are always open. You can ask anything at all. That's fine. I'll go over this with you as much as you need to help you understand and stuff. But other than that, I hope it did help, and anyone else who's watching as well, I hope it helped you too. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you would like to do a PvM coaching video like this with me, then feel free to send me a DM on Discord and we'll organize that as well. But otherwise, thank you to the channel members who support the channel that bit extra each and every day. Your names will have been on screen at some point. And other than that, thank you for everybody for watching. I appreciate that too. And I'll see you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.